guys, it's me, Delicious Delights. Today I have a very exciting review on the newest flanker from the Angel series from Thierry Mugler. It's called Angel Muse. Angel Muse is a fragrance that claims to be the very first gourmand vetiver on the market. I would have to disagree. There's a few other gourmandy kind of vetivers already that are in the niche side of perfumery. The first one I think of is État Libre d'Oranger Fat Electrician, and the other one is Hermescence Vetiver Tonka from the Hermes line, which I have here just for reference. I guess it depends on what you think or what your nose perceives as a gourmand. A lot of people say that certain fragrances are gourmand when to me they aren't, and vice versa. So it really just varies. But what gourmand means is that it gives off a foodie character. It's like almost edible, or they have a lot of notes in there that you would like to eat. This is a fragrance that I wouldn't like to eat, but it is definitely a fragrance that I would very much like to wear. So Vetiver is a note that is commonly found in a lot of men's fragrances. And I love the note. I love wearing Vetiver just for myself, even though it is kind of like a masculine note. I just love the smell. It's like a grassy, dry, green, rooty, earthy kind of smell. It's beautiful. I honestly think it really does smell unisex to my nose, the note of vetiver, but I'm very happy to see that finally there is a fragrance in the mainstream market in the women's department showcasing the beautiful note of vetiver. So what does this fragrance smell like? In the opening, I can tell you that vetiver is definitely the star of this fragrance. The vetiver is not sharp though, as it is typically in other fragrances. Instead of it being sharp, it's a very creamy vetiver, which is kind of a contradiction because I never think of vetiver being creamy, but this is a creamy vetiver, if you can imagine it. And I think that creaminess you can lend to the fact that there is a whipped cream note in this fragrance. The whipped cream though is not like a typical whipped cream. When I think whipped cream, I think super duper sweet. I think of desserts. I think that it's cold and chilled and delicious. This is not the whipped cream that I would normally want to eat because this whipped cream is very warm. The whole character of this fragrance is warm. So we have that smoky, beautiful vetiver. We have that beautiful warm cream, which lends a very nice sweetness to this fragrance, but that sweetness is really tamed with the vetiver. The vetiver kind of just sits on top of the whipped cream, preventing it from being a typical sweetness that you find in a lot of popular women's fragrances today. So along with that, you get this very beautiful black cherry note in the opening. It isn't listed in the notes, but I definitely smell that cherry note. It's the same cherry note that you can find in Angel Sucré, by the way. But those cherries are steeped in some red wine, and then it's heated up to the point of it's kind of like donut jelly. very unusual, very beautiful. I just sprayed it here and I'm getting the opening right now, and it's very I just love it. It's off-putting but pleasant at the same time. Now it's the same feeling that I got when I first tried Womanity. I'm pretty sure all of you have tried it all before. But when I first tried Womanity, I was really, like I said, I was pleasantly off-put by the fragrance because I was very confused. Like there's a salty marine note, very salty warmness in there. There's some figs in there. I don't know what the notes are, but it was just a very strange, different kind of fragrance, and this is exactly how I feel when I first tried this fragrance, and when I still tried it now. It's very weird. It's very, very weird, but I love it, you know? Okay, so the mid of this fragrance is very, very nice as well. What happens in the mid is this beautiful nutty flavors. Nutty flavors come out, like a hazelnut. It says it's hazelnut in the notes, but to my nose, it just smells like nuttiness. Nothing specific. But not just that. It's not just nuts on a plate. To my nose, you get that smell as if you were roasting nuts on a stovetop. And you know how when you roast them long enough, you start getting some black bits in there, a little bit burnt? That's what I get in the mid for the most part. Those black burnt parts of the nuts, that smoky vetiver, that creaminess from the warm cream, all combine into one, creating a very, very, very strange, I'm going to say that word a lot, strange, because that's really what it is. Creating a very strange, semi-sweet, smoky, nutty accord that is very hard to explain because I've never smelled anything like it, to be very honest. But, you know, that being said, how weird it is, it's so wonderful. All right, dry down. My favorite part of this fragrance is the dry down. The reason why is it reminded me of two things, very simply. First of all, it reminded me of the inside of a pie filling that's black cherry flavored, inside an oven bubbling. Yeah. You can imagine that thick, syrupy, almost jelly-like consistency of the inside of a pie. It smells exactly like that on my skin. That warmness you still get from the vetiver, you still get that really nice tamed sweetness from the whipped cream, but in the base it's all about that black cherry. I'm not sure why this is not mentioned in the notes, but really honestly that's what I get. The inside pie filling of a black cherry pie. Another way that I can tell you is it's like black cherry cobbler, if there's such a thing. Okay, so the second thing that came to my mind when I thought of the base, what it reminded me of is if you were to take the inside of a jelly-filled cherry donut, set it on fire so that there's literally flames coming from it. That's what, to me, that's what the dry down smells like. So it's very, very, very gourmand, very sweet, but that smokiness from the vetiver tames down that sweetness, makes it into kind of like a liquorish, jelly-ish kind of feel, which is it's so weird. It's so weird, but I love it. I love every single stage of this fragrance. It really morphed on my skin continuously. It kept me interested. It kept me intrigued. Very interesting fragrance. There is a downside to this fragrance though. Projection and longevity. Very, very disappointing on my skin. Longevity was about 3 to 4 hours. However, within that 3 to 4 hours, it was doing a lot. It was changing and transforming a lot on my skin, which I appreciate. Projection was really bad on my skin, an hour to an hour and a half. So yeah, I'm kind of disappointed about that. But the journey that this fragrance has taken me on was very rewarding. And I mean that. I know how cheesy that must sound to you guys, but really, I really appreciate this fragrance. I like the fragrance. I'm a little bit on the fence because of the longevity and the projection and the sillage, but I would have to try this maybe in warmer weather, I'm not sure. But I think that this has a lot to do with your chemistry, at least to try it. You know, these are just my opinions on this fragrance. Don't take, I'm a little bit weary about saying, okay, buy this fragrance or don't buy this fragrance. Really, what I want to do is just share my opinion with you guys about this fragrance if you were interested in it, and then for you guys to go test it out for yourself and make your own opinions about it, because of course, scent is subjective, the biggest cliche, I know, but it really is. This is unisex, so I think this would smell great on both men and women. Yeah. And last thing, if you're looking for an off-putting, beautiful gourmand, that's exactly what this is. So that's my review. Thank you so much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked and enjoyed my review. Also, please sub if you like my stuff, and I will be back with more, of course. So see you later, guys. Bye.